got mail. Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K Now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Emlon, your host for the next hour or so, along with Nick.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Gal is here.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
Yeah, I'm sitting outside.
Yeah. I hope not. I don't want that.
Yeah. Look at that.
Katie.
There's amazing snowflakes that got growing in the background here.
Katie would probably join us. I mean, she didn't say anything, but maybe she won't. I don't remember. Our number is 561-518-9773. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Again, I think I mentioned it last week, but Nick, I don't remember. Did I talk about the phone number, the old phone number? The 919.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So they
You
got
got
it now. I just need to figure out that SIP thing.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy
Well,
peasy.
well.
Give me a call during give
Well.
me a call during the week and I'll walk you through it.
Yep. So what happened last week that is worth first mention?
Have you heard about the guy, the developer that got his Apple account blocked?
Tim Sweeney?
I'm trying to remember his name.
That's the owner of Epic.
Yeah.
No, not the owner of it, but a guy who wrote books about Apple development, has an Apple account for the past 30 years, and he bought gift cards on some large, like some reputable location, and when he entered it to the account, there was some issue with it. And right after that, his account got blocked on all of these devices. Apple support isn't helpful. Turned out writing a blog post about it. That was the last that I've read. That was Friday evening, and like nothing. The blog post was supposed to, try to get help to reach out to somebody higher up in Apple that can help, because frontline support, management support, they're like nothing, zero traction. And this is a guy who his entire life advocated, right, for the technology that Apple comes out with and all that. So, yeah.
So you mentioned gift cards. So I would guess, is it fair to assume that the gift cards that he bought were somehow either intentionally or unintentionally deemed as stolen, or when people go into the store and they scratch them off and take them? Is that what happened?
That is the only working theory,
Yeah.
and that is only presented as maybes
Sure.
in discussion. There is no, even when he talks with the people who are supposed to see, the back office side of it, even they are not totally clear on why his account is locked.
That would be my first guess. And it's kind of interesting.
There it is.
Because this seemed
So-
like it was a legitimate gift card. Possibility that you had employees doing this, reporting these at these certain numbers as stolen, so that they could go and maybe jack the gift cards, right? More of a, we've all seen or heard of the scam where somebody, a regular person, goes into a store and takes the
Correct.
code, but you could also have a situation where an employee does that and then they swipe it, as they're closing or something like that.
But so here's the part that, like, I get what you're saying. What doesn't add up is buying these gift cards, right? there's a revealed part and there's a hidden part, right? That you need
Mhm.
to scratch off or peel or something in order to complete the transaction. And there's an activation part of the card itself, right? So if he bought it in a so the summary in his post is a brick and mortar store sold an Apple gift card that Apple seemingly took offense to, right? And locked out my entire Apple ID. So he went like to a Best Buy equivalent, let's say. He doesn't post the name. I doesn't want to do a shaming here. So um, and you buy a card. I last week I did a couple of weeks ago I did this with Nintendo gift cards that I bought from Costco, right? And so they activate they at the cash register they activate the cards, right? And then back home I need to take out the cards. I need to peel off a secret code, and then I need to enter that secret code in order to make use of the card. So I can't, in the life of me, I do not understand how a Best Buy employee would be able to do it. The only one who might be able to do it would be actually the manufacturer printing out the cards, because they have access to the actual secret codes.
Yeah, I
So
mean
something,
but the employee could still. I'm sure there's a way, and maybe there's not inside of Best Buy. Maybe this is a manager, not a low level employee. Some way to do kind of like a voided transaction where it still gets activated on the Apple end of it, uh, but it's shows up as a not actual transaction in the store. And then here's another option. Is there a possibility that let's say Gal is a truck driver and he's got a bunch of Apple gift cards in his haul, and yeah, something happens and he gets his car gets jacked or his truck gets jacked. I wonder if they blacklisted a bunch of gift cards, which I'm sure probably happens. I mean,
yeah,
people, and I wonder if this was a accidental, oh, we thought this card was stolen based on serial numbers and it wasn't really kind of situation as well. I mean, that might be the most likely situation, is a string of blacklisted gift cards, and maybe they made the wrong assumption as to what serial numbers were on this truck, and maybe they weren't. Maybe that might be the most probable of theories. Or Apple just screwed up and accidentally blacklisted the wrong cards.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like there's no recourse. Like the
Oh,
guy is
yeah.
freaking out, right? And it's an excellent question. The guy's in Australia, yeah. So
Ah, well, good freaking luck with their
I
government.
mean, the the some of, like, he's constantly contacting Apple support, right? And some of the advice he got, it's random, it's completely random. But it said it went to one point where one of the support guys just told him, just go to Apple HQ in Australia, right? It's like, go to the offices and try to find somebody who will help you, which probably won't work either. So
Hmm.
it's ridiculous. It's a like a terrible ordeal for the person.
Hmm.
And now, mind you, I mean, yeah, it's Apple. I don't like Apple, all that. I don't think it's an Apple problem, right? This is the problem of just relying completely on just somebody else managing your data, right? It's okay to have that, but that cannot be the only source, right? He says 6 terabytes of family photos there that he cannot access, and he does not have a local backup. So the the plan of just relying on whatever large corporation to save your stuff for you, right, cannot be the only plan. It's just, it's too risky, because something simple as somebody just, I don't know, typing the wrong letter when they're blocking something, right, can just screw your life, at least for a while. I really hope this specific ordeal will be resolved. But I'm guessing he will need to go through hoops and hoops to prove that he is a real person, even though the account is 20 plus years old. So, yeah.
AI. AI say, "Oh, I don't know
if
him."
it will, if the conclusion will be that AI blocked the card, right? I think that will this person will lose his like his shits, right? That the machine decided to do something and no human can undo it.
Right.
That's that's going to be
Yep.
an interesting thing to follow. I really hope this will become into a vengeance trip on his side. It'll be interesting to follow.
Now, I will say this. I have not dealt with a lot of Apple remote support. And I really haven't dealt with a lot of Apple support at all. I mean, I will say not an Apple fanboy, but for the most part, I don't have a bunch of Apple products. I just have an iPhone, but I've had an iPhone now for a very long time. And my problems have been almost non-existent to report about. I wonder what would happen if he walked into, and I don't know where he lives in Australia, but I wonder what would happen if he walked into an Apple store and talked to a physical Apple employee.
I think
because those guys tend to be pretty good, at least in the past.
Geniuses.
Yeah, I mean that used to be kind of the thing. If you've got if you've got a problem, you walk into an Apple store, and typically that was a hardware issue, albeit. But those guys tend to have pretty good access to stuff and can make some things happen. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a painful experience, and I hope the guy gets it solved. I posted the link in chat of his blog post. But yeah, it's like.
And Nick, you mentioned Epic. I just read yesterday that that Carey revoked their permit to develop the mall.
Why?
Because for inaction. Because they didn't do anything with it for how many years?
Oh,
2 years?
Many years.
Yeah, but I mean, why would they revoke?
I don't know.
Why would they revoke their permit?
Well, didn't they already just back away from the property that they weren't? Or do they still?
I mean, they own the property, so I mean, why would you? I don't know why you'd revoke.
I don't know.
Well, a permit is a permit to build is time limited.
Well, was it a permit to build?
Yes,
or was it a zoning permit,
yes.
Oh, it was a building
to
building
develop
permit. Yeah,
to
that would be
develop.
that would be probably a 5-year permit or something. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they eventually will. They probably will eventually do something with that property, but I mean,
or sell
they
it.
bought that. They bought that right before COVID, if I remember correctly, like 2018, 2019, and then obviously the brakes got hit on that pretty dramatically.
And we talk about Apple. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has almost entirely upheld a scathing April ruling that found Apple in willful violation of a 2021 injunction meant to open up iOS App Store payments in its long-running legal battle against Epic Games.
Shocking.
A 3-judge panel affirmed that Apple's 27% fee for developers using outside payment options had a prohibitive effect, and that the company's design restrictions on external payment links were overly broad. The appeals court also agreed that Apple acted in bad faith by rejecting viable, compliant alternatives in internal discussions. One divergence from the lower court, the appeals court ruled that Apple should still be able to charge a reasonable fee based on its actual costs to ensure user security and privacy, rather than charging nothing at all.
Sure.
So Epic CEO Tim Sweeney told reporters he believes those fees should be super minor. on the order
Yeah.
of tens of hundreds of dollars every time an iOS app update goes through Apple for review.
Mhm.
He says the Apple tax is dead in the USA. Sweeney also alleged that a widespread fear of retaliation has kept many developers paying Apple's default 30% fees, claiming the company can effectively ghost apps by delaying reviews or burying them in search results.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. This I get what Apple was trying to do. From a business perspective, great move, right? You completely own payments, and it's a very high fee, as you noted there, like
Mhm.
20 some odd percent, 27%. But like the courts have already been pretty clear on this, and I don't think they're and to Tim Sweeney's credit, I mean, he has absolutely waged war with them and has not backed off at all, and it has cost him personally probably tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, I can only imagine the revenue that he and Epic lost out on over the last. It's been going on for like what 6 years now or something, 7 years now over Fortnite in the App Store. I mean, I can only imagine. Could be billions of dollars. I mean, I don't even know.
There's no telling. I mean, they know.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
bravo to him. And I saw something this week. I don't remember where. I don't know if this was just one of those like, not like BS social media posts, that there was some rumor that Tim Cook was potentially leaving Apple. Did anybody else see that?
No.
No.
I don't know if
What,
I don't
Team
even-
Apple?
Yeah, Tim Apple.
Yeah.
Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Let me see. It could have. It could
Oh,
have just been
actually,
some.
Nick, I did see something about a rumor.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know where. I'm doing a search for it now, and I don't see anything. Maybe it may have just been a post on X about it, but I don't know. Maybe it was BS. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, here's an article 3 weeks ago at the Wall Street Journal. 4 top contenders to Apple to succeed Tim Cook. So
Yeah,
maybe.
but is it something Apple is looking at, or it's just the magazine just saying who can?
Well, I'm
These
sure.
are our options.
Yeah, I'm sure there's kind of two things with it. I would guess that there is, if there's internal conversation going on, somebody is leaking it to media outlets that these conversations are happening. So while it might not be imminent, it could be very much under discussion. Which I don't necessarily know if that's the worst idea for Tim Cook or for Apple.
Well, they had a major executive shakeup with.
In the last couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they got rid because their AI development person, they got rid of him, and are supposedly bringing somebody else in because whatever they had planned to do didn't come out the way they expected it to.
Yeah.
There's so much competition out there, and if you try to come up with a platform that's so tied so closely. Oh, did you see the story about Microsoft this week? How they're also retrenching now the Copilot. They're saying nobody's using it.
I'm not
So
surprised.
they're actually they're
Surprise.
actually backing off on development investment for it.
I mean, they are trying. If you are a 365 user, I mean, it's amazing that people aren't using it as hard as they ram it down your throat. If you use any of the 365 products, it's remarkable that it's not in use. It's almost impossible not to use.
All right.
Every time I
trust
open
me.
every time I open up an email, every time I open up a Word doc, it's like, oh hey,
Yeah.
Copilot.
This
It's
is
like old
Clippy
Clippy.
all
Yes,
over again.
exactly.
Yeah.
Clippy.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean,
No, I
Only
prefer
it does
Microsoft.
have the capabilities that Clippy claimed it had, but it just
Yeah.
nobody wants it.
Think
Yeah.
about how far ahead they were because they had Microsoft Bob.
Yeah, what 30 years ago, right?
Yeah. I mean, they actually had a desktop assistant thing called Bob, which everybody
That's
hated.
you're talking about the first
First
Blu-ray
first.
to graphical interface before Windows. Yeah.
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 Yep, yep,
Um,
yep.
and Opera is in the news.
Oh. Oprah or opera? Or music?
Opera.
Opera
The
music.
browser.
Oprah bought Opera.
Listen to this. Opera has opened its AI powered browser Neon to the public after a couple of months of testing. And anyone interested in trying it will need to pay $19.90 per month.
Yeah, no, like OpenAI Plus or
Huh?
something, like
The
19
Norway
$20. Yeah.
the Norway-based company first unveiled Neon in May and launched it in early access to select users in October. Like Perplexity's Comment, OpenAI Atlas, and the browser company's Dia, Neon bakes an AI chatbot into its interface that can answer questions about pages, create mini apps and videos, and perform tasks. The subscription also grants access to AI models including Gemini 3 Pro and GPT 5.1. So you get subscriptions to them. Now,
You mentioned something in there that they seem to be doing a pretty strong marketing campaign. Has anybody in here used Perplexity?
Yeah, I use
What are your
Perplexity.
what is it? Like is it, I mean, is it just another chat? Because I'm seeing Verizon and T-Mobile, both of them. I listen to a lot of sports talk radio,
Right.
and both of them in ads are talking about um, upgrade to a new iPhone and get this, and 12 months free Perplexity Pro for both of those.
Well,
They're just bundling it in, and I
I
don't
haven't
know.
used their Pro service, but
Okay.
they are a chat engine, like
Hmm.
a chat LLM. The thing is that every single response of it is backed up with all of the resources where the material is sourced.
Gotcha.
So if it gives you an answer with, I don't know, 5 results or five, breaking up to 5 topics, each one of these subtopics will have a single link or more. And you basically, okay, the LLM might be, bogus and hallucinating, but this is where it got its source material from. And when you go to the source material, you will actually see uh, the data, right? Not just so now it's not it's not as accurate as it should be in terms of sourcing the material, but the fact that you get it uh, uh, with that for now as a transitional solution where we can't really trust whatever an LLM hallucinates, um, it's an excellent experience.
Yeah, I just
But
asked it a
yeah,
question and it's wrong, but it's trying to back it up.
yeah. So it's not that it might say something completely wrong and it's backing up the data, and you'll go to the data and the data is actually right. It just misunderstood whatever it read.
Yeah, I just asked it about
So
myself, and it
yeah,
says that I still have a radio show in Wilmington, and it's backing up articles when I got the job, but it doesn't have any
yeah,
of the articles where I got fired, which are public as well.
mm,
So it's
could
it's
be,
kind
yeah,
kind of interesting to
yeah,
see that, but it's no, it was very quick, and it says it reviewed 15 sources, and I can see the links to all of them, so that's pretty
exactly,
cool.
yeah.
mm.
So as of right now, it is probably one of the more convenient ones as a chat engine to talk with, compared, let's say, to ChatGPT or Claude or all of those. But if you'll notice, I don't know about ChatGPT, but I think Claude and Gemini, they start producing links. I think also Bing
Yes,
Chat. Yeah,
yeah,
they and Bing Chat at the back end uses GPT, but it uses this sourcing of links very similar to what Perplexity is doing. Yeah,
And
I
talking
think
about,
all of the AI browsers, they're nice, but and it's exactly the same thing that you talked about before. It's like the Copilot. Nobody's using it. I do not think they are what they are supposed to be yet. I think we're all going to use AI as the driver to do our data work, and that
At
will
some
include,
point, yeah.
yeah, and that will include browsers as well. But that will be when we, instead of typing the address or going to Google to search for a page, we will just be in conversation with the chat. And while we're in conversation with the chat, in the background, things will be loaded and displayed and done. And so I will tell the chatbot, I'm looking for, I don't know, slippers, and give me some results, and it'll go and it'll fetch it from Amazon, from Walmart, from right, and it'll show me, and then it say, okay, let's focus on these and these and like it will be a conversation with an assistant that does the work for you while you're watching it do it. When the browsers will be like that, I think that is when they'll start getting traction.
Okay,
Right now, it's just a novelty.
So here, Google's Chrome team has built an experimental browser called Disco that takes a query or prompt, opens a cluster of related tabs, and then generates a custom application tailored to whatever task the user is trying to accomplish. So the
That could be
browser
fun.
launched Thursday as an experiment in Google Search Labs. So that's
Yeah,
exactly what
give-
you're talking about, right?
But does it give an example? Like
No.
So it's opening up a cluster of tabs.
It says
like
right.
or
It says
I'm not understanding.
you
Well,
give it the
usually-
prompt or a
Yeah.
query, and it opens a cluster of related tabs.
Literally
Sure.
what
That
I
you can go
described a
through,
moment
but in the
ago. I'm
meantime,
looking for something. Yeah, and
it
then it'll-
generates a custom application.
That's what I don't understand. Custom application for what? So if I say like Gal's question, I'd
tailored-
like some slippers. What is it building?
It says
Then
tailored
it'll
to
give you
what
an interface, a new interface that never existed before, right? It
Interesting.
shows the comparison and buy buttons, right, and stuff like that, right? It'll generate a sort of page and the code behind it that will grab from multiple sources of data and present it to you in the way you want.
Yeah, it's tailored to whatever task the user is trying to accomplish.
Let me ask you this. So I need to pay bills today, okay? And I have a process. I have a spreadsheet that I've created to track this, and I go through a motion of steps. It's always the same motion of steps, right? But I do not want, and I do not want to rely on any of the single services that I need to pay for on their auto pay. I want to track it. This is me, right? This is how my brain works. I found a lot of applications that can replace some of what I'm doing on my spreadsheet, but it will never be exactly the spreadsheet I've created for myself, right? I would I would love it that uh, using some conversation, I will get to a point where I get an application that works exactly the way I want. And not only that is, if I find that something isn't just right for me, I'll tell it, okay, so please make a change. And not only that, when it makes the change, it'll make the change and it'll affect past data as well, right? So having that type of power, yes, I want that, but it's not there yet. And sounds like that's what Google is trying to come out with. But all of the AI-based browsers before, I haven't seen any value in them. Now it's starting to sound interesting, right? We'll see. We'll see if it'll actually grow the way I envision.
I want one when I want to pay my bills to say, find me the money to pay my bills.
Try it.
That is
Go
exactly
out
what.
go out and find any place that I can get free money from.
Yeah, that's actually
Well-
great. Yeah, like find these little sign up things. You get $5 or whatever. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be very
In a way,
interesting.
that is exactly what I'm doing. I'm listing all of my accounts. I'm looking at right that it is exactly what I'm doing. But I the process needs to be more streamlined for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Nick, you mentioned Office 365.
Yes, sir.
Microsoft has announced that it will raise prices on its Microsoft 365 productivity suite for businesses and government clients starting in July 26, marking the first commercial price increase since 2022. Small businesses and frontline worker plans face the steepest hike. Business Basic jumped 16.7% to $7 per user per month, while frontline worker subscription surges up to 33%. Enterprise plans see more modest bumps, ranging from 5.3 to 8.3.
More modest, yeah, but they have
Yeah,
like
a lot
10
more.
times, 100 times more
Right.
the employees. Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
Microsoft attributed the increase to more than 1,100 new features added to this suite,
Which
including.
nobody uses.
1,100.
That's what they say.
What?
I mean, they count a change of icon as a feature. Come on.
Yeah, but
It-
Christ Almighty, 1,100 is is insane.
It's a
If
new
you said
program.
100.
No. So the way they count and the way you look at it, right? That's the
I-
difference. And
I
that's what I
understand,
mean by
but
nobody cares about those 1,100 features. That's the thing. Probably 500 of those 1,100 are related to how Copilot reads the data in Apple app in Office apps,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Nobody
insane.
wants that. Nobody asked for that.
Yeah.
So you're paying for their innovation, basically,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Their attempt to innovate you.
It's saying that those features include AI-driven tools and security enhancements. Copilot remains a separate $30 a month add-on.
$30.
Yeah.
So, okay, I've got a crazy question slash hypothesis to show out
Okay.
to roll out. We've talked a lot in the past about how a lot of folks cut the cord on cable and went to streaming, right? Because at the beginning it was affordable, you could get a lot of what you wanted, and now streaming has become in many cases way more expensive than your traditional cable that you had, and things are locked behind certain vendor walls, and if you don't have YouTube, you can't watch this. If you don't have Hulu TV, you can't watch that, so on and so forth.
Really? That's all news to me. What are we talking about?
Well, like for example, so you've got that in kind of the media space right now, where people like we're almost seeing a regression back to the hell with this. I'll just spend $69 a month with Time Warner and just have my 1,000 channels on Spectrum. I wonder if we are not getting close to a similar situation in business with products like 365 and Google Apps, where the fee and the cost is getting so high that people will go back to Amnon in the business that you're still in, which is providing email addresses for individuals and finding some alternative solution for everything else. Because at a certain point, this shit is not affordable. $35 a seat, eventually $40 a seat, it eventually becomes completely unobtainable for even medium-sized businesses. It's just too expensive.
So I'll tell you when that I'll tell you how to identify when that happens. Is the day Microsoft will announce that they no longer sell the Office perpetual license, right?
That's a good
That will
point.
be the point,
I've-
right? That
I've
will be
got-
the point of no return, where the only option to get a new actual Office license will be to only pay through, and that's what they're pushing for, right? There's no way to. They do not care anymore about perpetual licensing, right? Perpetual licensing was the bread and butter before subscription, but today subscription is king, and you see it one of the pushes that is moving there is the federal cloud that Microsoft is building, right, and expanding. The idea is that all of the federal accounts, which were siloed out and only on premises solutions, they will all transition to cloud based services on a federal approved data center that is run by Microsoft,
Yeah.
right? And when that day will arrive, when all of the politics and all of the bureaucracy and all of that will be signing off on that, the next day, right, will be Microsoft announcing that they will no longer provide the perpetual licensing on Microsoft Office. That is going to be the first step. And when that comes, that war that you're describing of which service am I going to use, etc., that's going to get exploded. That's going to be a big pain for households, for businesses, for anything.
And I mean, you can see a situation with where you would have the rise of the IT guy again, where some of this stuff is brought back in cluster. You talked about on-prem. I know that Microsoft doesn't want stuff on-prem, but there are other solutions and alternatives that do allow and encourage on-prem. And so you wonder if you kind of see a revitalization at some point when your company is spending $22,000 a month for Office 365 instances, and you're like, hold on a second here, like, can we pay a guy 65 grand a year and cut our monthly costs down to 3 or 6 or 8,000 versus 22? There will be a tipping point on that. We're not there yet, but I don't think it's far away.
I'm gonna burst your bubble. Is none of the cloud services have created a situation where you do not need an IT guy. The only difference is your IT guy managing infrastructure that is out of their control or behind somebody else's network, or is your IT person dealing with a physical rack that of equipment that they actually purchased, right? That's the difference that exists with cloud services versus local IT. The IT guy, the IT team, right, has expanded because the amount of services that you can manage on a purchase as you need has grown substantially. The billing on it has grown substantially because when you're using somebody else's equipment, there is always a surcharge on the fact that somebody else has built it for you and is managing some aspects of it. So you no longer care about power. You no longer care about that's the whoever runs the data centers AC, but
Sure.
but everything else is on you, right? You might be limited in how bad you can screw your network, right? Because of the limitation of what is you're capable of, but it's still 100% on you to set it up, to configure it properly, to set up the VPNs and secure connections to your servers, etc. So IT has never gone away. The
No,
main difference is, right, is they have done a lot less purchasing of hardware. Okay, that's pretty much what changed.
and I would
don't
also
think that will go back. I don't think we'll go back to there just because of the convenience, but the competition will be fiercer.
see, I don't inherently disagree with you, but there is a point where the two lines intersect on convenience and price. And I'm very, and let's be clear, running this stuff in house is not inexpensive. The setup costs, the forward costs are very expensive. Expensive hardware, licensing right out of the gate. There's no question about it. There's some high expense to it. The question is going to be, where do those two lines intersect? And at a certain point they will, because I mean, the price of Office 365, I can say this to you for certain this morning, will never go down. You will never, Amnon will never come on and say, hey guys, did you hear that Microsoft is lowering the price of Office 365? That's never going to happen. So,
No.
what point is it $35, $45, $55 a month where companies say, holy crap, we are bleeding money away on Microsoft Word and emails, stuff that we can do internally
And most
pretty affordably.
and most of those users really just use it for email and Word.
Well, a lot of it's for email and then for word processing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yes, there are some nice features, but is sharing is collaborating on a Word document for
some.
I'm looking at small to medium sized business here, where the margin is very relevant. Is it worth $55 a month per user to be able to collaboratively edit a Word document together?
So
I don't know.
Let me blow your mind away, right? The small businesses are those that are actually using the collaboration, and the big businesses are usually using it siloed, right?
I don't disagree with that, but I'm saying for the big business, for the Fortune 500, the cost of the 365 instance going up, $250 a user a month, I mean, doesn't really. I mean, it might hurt their quarter 1 forecast by a half a percentage point, but nobody's going into the poorhouse over it. The small to medium size business, that's a pretty significant deal if you've got 15 employees and your margins are already very tight and you're going up $2 or $3 a month per user. And so I wonder where that breaking point isn't. I'm sure.
I don't think there'll be a breaking point because I don't think the IT guy is going to be cheaper either.
I see, but I think he is.
No, but the IT guy is also another employee that can do other things.
Well,
while
IT related for the most part.
Yeah. If the workload grows, then his responsibilities grows as well, right? There's a reason that these services are working. I do not think that this price hike is a forebearer of Office subscription is going to is something is going to change in the landscape. I think everything is going to move to these type of services. The alternative will be running your own open source stacks, like not competition. But that will be a drop in the ocean, at least in the US. If you look at Chinese market of software, they are. I don't know. I don't know about percentages. Like I can't say 70%, 60%, 90%. But
so
they
don't.
are primarily based on open source, because the ecosystem, the probably the government oversight, right? Because of the structure of how a business can operate in China, their development, even in the AI world, in everything substantial, all of the development is done as open source. And so when you're looking at that and you understand that they are dealing with a market that is 3, 4, 5, probably 7 to 8 times larger than the US, right? What they're building is going to be much more robust. So it'll be interesting to see if at a certain point, if you're talking about a conversion point, like a tipping point, that something really changes, is if the open source market from China will start sipping up and dictating business behavior in the US, right? That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
That's like the part where I'll take the popcorn and sit aside and see that unfold. I'm not saying that it's going to be better, right? Don't get me wrong. It's just it is happening in a completely different scenario, like a set of scenarios and growth, and it's measured in entirely different light over there.
All right. Well,
So
Nick started the thing that his thing about what's happening with services, video services, right?
Mhm.
Nick?
Yeah, that
Well,
was kind of the problem
there was
because we've
there
seen
was a story this week that I read
uh
that it's the first time since before COVID that the cable companies posted actual net gain instead of net loss of 330,000 new
not
subscribers,
surprising, not
which it's been
surprising at
going.
all.
So far, it's been going
but are we
down, down,
counting
down,
TV
down.
subscribers?
What?
So the fact that they got more subscribers as more customers,
They're
right?
talking about people that went cord cutting and went back now to the services. Now,
Yeah, I mean, if you
now
switch providers, Comcast loses a customer and Spectrum gains one. It's a wash.
they did
it's
say
zero.
that those services include YouTube TV. They count
Oh.
that as a
Well, yeah, okay, then that might blow that statistic.
But
Well-
off then.
but let's be clear. YouTube TV is just another cable company. It's not. It's standard.
rising-
The fees
that's
are
rising
pretty
in
much
price,
the
though.
same.
the
It's
point.
more expensive if you called if you call it, I still get the little probably twice a month, maybe 3 times. I still get a little card in the mail from Spectrum, who I don't have for any services right now.
Right.
Card in the mail from them, cable TV for $49.99 for a year, and obviously after a year that price skyrockets. I would suspect a lot of people, not a lot, but I would suspect people are going back to that. I think there's some evidence to back it up.
We've had this discussion this past week because of all the subscriptions. When you finally add up what you're spending with the price increases,
That's
and
the whole point of that story.
I know, and I'm just saying is that I don't see any good alternative. I don't want to go back to Spectrum.
No, but at the same time, do you want to spend $300 a month to watch
No.
TV, which
Well,
is what people are doing?
And
Right.
to watch one show.
That's exactly. I mean, you're
Start
spending
reading books.
$89 a month on YouTube, another 15 or 20 something on Netflix, and your Amazon Prime and Spotify. It $200-300 a month, easy.
This is what irritated me about Spectrum all those years was to get these 2 channels, I have to buy this package. And I'm funding all these other channels I never watch.
Yep.
But that was the only way. I wanted a la carte, $2.99 a channel per month. The 3 or 4 that I really want to watch.
Yeah, but Spence, if we'll get a la carte, it won't be $2.99. It'll be 10.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I'm
you'll
saying. That's
pay-
what I wanted then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. But
Well,
we
somebody-
won't see that happen.
Somebody did a la carte streaming. Was it? Oh crap! It's completely drawn. I can see their logo.
I think you're talking about Sling, and it
Sling,
was never
yes.
a la carte. It was never a la carte. It was
Okay,
exactly the same model. There was a base, and you could buy more.
I thought at some point somebody had introduced an a la carte at some point.
Yeah,
It may have not been Sling. I know what you're
But
talking
you
about. Sling.
always
They
had
had
to
like
buy the
3 different
base.
tiers. Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
So I just
There
I
are-
don't know. I'm
There's
curious.
some European companies doing something similar. None of them is a la carte, right?
I
the
heard
only
an ad.
the only true all you can eat buffets, right? are the pirates, and then when you go with legitimate stuff, you always get a base that usually contains very little of what's interesting, and then the a la carte part where it's not $2.99, it's like 7 or 10 or something for what you want.
all right, let's switch. Imagine walking out to your car, pressing the start button, and getting absolutely nothing.
Dead
No,
battery.
no crank, no
No,
lights
I
on the dash, nothing.
I think he's talking about breaking from remote.
Talking about
That's
DNS.
That's exactly what happened to hundreds of Porsche owners in Russia last week. The issue is with the vehicle tracking system. a satellite-based
man.
security system that's supposed to protect against theft. Instead, it turned these Porsches into driveway ornaments.
It could have
DNS
literally been
got
That's
down.
bad.
Yeah.
They cut DNS and it doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the Facebook fiasco where they couldn't enter the data centers because the change in DNS
Yep.
breaked everything.
Yeah. I mean, automation is not something that it's always working the way you think it is. Here's something interesting. The influencer economy that Goldman Sachs projects will reach nearly $500 billion by 2027 depends on less examined population. The influenced. Million of people.
Influent?
The influenced.
Yeah.
Million of people who find themselves accumulating debt and clutter after years of exposure to what amounts to a 24/7 digital infomercial. So when you see influencer, that puts them really in a bad light.
Well, now
Were
you've got
they ever in a
influencer.
positive light?
Well, I mean, look, an influencer should also give you good stuff.
Why?
I don't know. I never, recommendation of something.
I'm sure there are some nice people out there that actually want to give you the right thing, but this
Right.
you see now tiered versions of. You got the original influencer, and then the other influencers commenting on that influencer, and then you got people commenting on them. So it's this the ecosystem is really messed up.
Well,
I mean,
Gal, you talked about Cisco before we started the show. There's some good news about Cisco. Cisco stock price touched 80 and a quarter dollars on Wednesday, finally eclipsing its dot-com era peak of 80.06.
That's impressive.
Set on March 27, when the networking giant briefly surpassed Microsoft to become the world's most valuable company. The journey back took 25 years, 8 months, and 13 days.
It's time to sell those stocks, man.
So it's
hopefully the employees are vested.
It's nice. It's nice to read stuff like this. And OpenAI released ChatGPT. I mean, not ChatGPT, GPT 5.2. And I had an interesting thing happen. Marshall's site, somebody duped it, copied a bunch of stuff, and pretended to be it. And a lady bought some 2 or 3 pairs of snoozies, and she called the office and she said, I bought it. Where is it? And one thing led to another, and they found out that that's what it was. And he got in touch with the guy who is running the Shopify site.
His Shopify or the other, or the scam Shopify?
No. His Shopify. He's
Okay,
got a
okay.
Shopify. He wanted to be everywhere.
Sure.
And he sent me about an hour later a report that this site is hosted on there and this, and this is a known site for scammers, and you can get in touch with what's the name? That
GoDaddy.
No, they gave him the name of the registrar, and they gave him the name of the hosting. Shoot, one of the big ones. They always
HostGator,
Now.
good. Dang it!
Bluehost.
No. I mean, legitimate. Anyway,
Those are legitimate companies.
yeah,
Bluehost's
no,
been around for like 30 years.
Flare, about Flare,
Cloudflare?
Cloudflare.
Ah.
And
Well, Cloudflare's not
and-
hosting, but
and told
they may
them
have.
who to call and what to say. And he said also, I can write the email if you need me. And I mean, it was a detailed report from that person. And
Yeah.
and I called him and I said, boy, this guy is good. He said, hey, what do you know? He didn't write that. I said, who wrote? He said, he went to ChatGPT.
Of course.
And it gave him all the information, who to call
No,
to
no, no, no.
stop.
It didn't give him all of the
He
information.
gave him
but it,
all the information that he needed to stop that site on a dime.
okay.
He told him Cloudflare would take care of it right away. The host will look at your email and will take down that. I mean, step by step with phone numbers and emails and everything. He
I wonder if
followed
they
it.
were all accurate.
What?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
wonder
He
if all the
followed
phone numbers
he,
were accurate.
he followed it. He called. He sent the email and stuff. The next day he said, "Hey, Amnon, that site is out.
That's impressive.
It's no longer there."
Good on Cloudflare or whoever else was in the mix on it. Good on them.
It was the registrar. It was the host. I mean, it was a bunch of different things. But it was, I couldn't believe. I mean, I thought the guy wrote it because every place that he said, and you need to write them, and in bold it says, and I can write it for you if you need. I thought that guy who services him said that. He said, no, this came from ChatGPT.
You know what's probably funny about it? The irony in that is that it was probably AI that was used to scrape Marshall's website and recreate it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably almost immediately. So it's kind of
Yeah.
a little bit of irony.
It was.
in,
I mean,
the
he
entire chain.
he showed me the site, and it wasn't a simple site.
Well, it's not hard to hard
Yeah.
to do with AI, especially if it's on Shopify or WordPress or something like that. Most of those things are readily available.
I sent the guy an email. I'm waiting to hear from him. I want to know, what did he ask ChatGPT? Was it a series
would
of
be-
questions, or was it something that just generated all that? It's very good, very good.
Yeah.
So good for you, ChatGPT.
For those
Don't
interested,
encourage it.
Huh?
Don't encourage it.
Well,
for those
it's
interested in getting a lifetime license, you can get for $34.97 a Office 2021 professional on Stack Social. That's not the only place you can get it.
Yeah,
but that's
there's
the place I've purchased
PC
them from.
World and different places. Yeah.
And this is legitimate licenses. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
they're brokers that buy people that bought bulk licenses that don't need them anymore.
It's mainly dealers
Yes.
that have
Excess
agreements.
inventory.
No, they have agreements with Microsoft. They buy 10,000 a month. They get that price, so they do it, and they don't sell them. They need to buy another 10,000 the next month, for instance, and that's who sells those. That's why you just get the license. You don't get the software. The software you get from Microsoft the legitimate way, but the license comes from them. Yes, so it's all kind of things that people don't need it because they have to do something else. That's
I
why.
prefer to purchase my stuff using what was known in New York as the slow truck discount.
Yeah, right. No, that's not what that is. No.
No, I know.
And AI.
Some places can be. So make
Oh,
sure
yeah,
you're not
of
make
course.
sure you're buying from a legitimate
Yes.
place, because then you have to do phone activation to get this, and then you're like, okay.
You can
AI
get, sorry.
AI is the second largest major at MIT after computer science, though that includes students interested in applying AI in biology and healthcare. It's just the beginning. This semester, more than 3,000 students enrolled in a new College of Artificial Intelligence and Cybersecurity at the University of South Florida at Tampa. At the University of California, San Diego, 150 first-year students signed up for a new AI major. And the State University of New York at Buffalo created a standalone Department of AI and Society, which is offering new interdisciplinary degrees in fields like AI and policy analysis. So
It's going to be very disappointing when these
yes,
kids graduate with $75,000 worth of student loan debt and go to
well,
apply and say, I
that's
have a degree in AI. And a company goes, who cares?
yeah, we already got everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what happened. I mean, parents or students hear about this and right away go for it.
Sure.
Yeah,
And
that
the
is
universities understand that they can probably, and I'm not saying all
capitalize
of them, but
on it.
capitalize and turn it into some department and some degree, regardless of whether it's whether
The
there's a
thing to remember is all this information, why it's such a hot thing, is what they see today. Remember, you are not going to graduate 4 years. You don't know what's going to be then.
So is the alternative to go to mycomputercareer.com?
hey, at least with that you can get a legitimate career in like help desk work.
Yeah.
I would be very curious what these degrees are, because let me be clear. If you were going to college and getting a degree in large language model infrastructure and deployment and development, that to me is a degree in AI. You're learning the intricacies of developing AI, how they work. I would guess, based on the numbers that you rattled off, Amnon, this is like end user, how do I use AI kind of stuff. And I just
Prompt
don't know
engineering.
that's not I don't think that's going to be a long-term employable position.
And,
Well,
but can
prompt
you?
engineering is probably going to be around for a while, but
how much of it? I mean, these numbers that Amnon just rattled off are insane. 150,000 at Buffalo.
No, not
150,000 at San Diego.
150,000.
You said 150,000 students.
No,
Yes.
that was no. Okay,
What'd you say?
I said 150 first-year student. 150.
Oh, gotcha.
The only thousands was 3,000 in
it's
South.
a new faculty.
Yeah,
I
everything
misunderstood,
else is just small numbers.
Sorry, my apologies.
Sorry.
Well, hey, it's it might be 150 right now. Give it about give it 24, 36 months and it'll be up to a couple thousand.
Probably.
It's just going to be interesting to see how this washes out, because who knows what other jobs will be eliminated where you're flooding the market with candidates that have some skill, but they're not up to date, fighting with people who just got out of school who have no experience.
Plumber.
Plumber, welder,
Yep.
blacksmith, believe it or not. There are places that need blacksmiths.
Yeah.
HVAC?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, people with horse farms, right? They need people who know how to shoe horses.
Yeah.
They said that there'll be, in the automotive industry, trained technicians next year or the year after will be short by 1 million technicians.
Damn. Well, that's not good for the consumer, because
No,
that means
no,
the
'cause
price
that's-
for work is going to freaking explode.
As it is, you go to a dealership now, and I've had experiences where they didn't put things back together. You go in to get an oil change. Pam's car has this plastic shield underneath the engine because it's got a plastic oil pan that has to protect it. So I'm doing something. I'm looking under the car, and they took the screws out in the front to drop it down to change the oil, never put it back. And I went back to oh no, I can't. I said, you changed the oil. I didn't touch it. The screws were all missing. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Yep. All right. It's this time of day again. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? What is Paul saying there?
Oh,
Spectrum
just
New
one
Deal.
last thing I'm
free?
researching. You can get Stack Social Office 2024 Business Edition for $149.
That's expensive.
It is, but if you want the latest
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
So
Normally, I mean, those packages sell for about
$29, yeah.
$29.95,
Yeah.
$39.95, something like that.
But keep in mind that out of the, I don't know, 2,000 new features that they added in the past couple of years,
No,
most of them are
1,100.
Copilot related. Nobody wants them anyway. So
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
And much of that stuff is not going to work because of the fact that you're not carrying a 365 subscription.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
So stick to
Mm.
2019 versions or
Yeah,
2020 or something
2021.
like
I
that.
have
think 20
2021.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's working great. I don't.
And it's
need
probably
it.
going to be much cheaper. I think what I'm using is 2019 if I'm
Yeah.
installing for somebody, and those are perfect. They still get updated, right? So
Mhm.
it's not that you do not get updates for them. It's just you don't need the
Yeah.
features.
I'm on
Yeah.
2019 as well. So
Yeah.
I have a friend who's still using Office 2023 and still working on
2003.
2003. Oh, yeah, 2003. I'm sorry, 2003.
You
not?
can.
Still working okay. I don't know if it's updated anymore, but
No, it doesn't.
Well, 2003 uses different formats for the files. So I
yes.
would say yes. Using the
think-
2013 or 2014 or whatever that was there, then you're okay. I think 2007 is when the formats
File change.
are
Yeah.
Went from
Yeah,
doc
file
to
change.
documents.
.dox. Yeah.
yeah.
This person, to be honest, is just using it for Outlook.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So
Yeah, they should go and get EM Client.
I just got an they just did an up
Yeah.
new version or something. I just got an email about it. Haven't read it yet. but-
Yeah, the one thing that happened with EM Client, I got it for one of my customers last year here in the office, and I guess they changed something. And they now have either a one-time fee or they have a subscription fee. And I
Yeah, I
didn't
did see
pay
that.
attention. And I guess I clicked on the subscription fee. And last month, he called me and he said, Amnon, it says that I don't have a license. I said, what? It says I don't have a license. So he went and looked, and I went and searched and found out that you can enter your license one more time for one more month, but you have to change the license if you want it. You have to pay another. I told them I'll pay it. It was my mistake.
How much is the EM client? One
Uh,
time buy.
50 some dollars, $59, but it's a
Yeah,
one
50,
time.
yeah,
one,
still
lifetime.
$59. Yeah, lifetime for 3 devices,
Yeah,
which is nice.
yeah. And he said
There's still a free version available too.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is good.
Oh yeah. He says, I don't mind paying for it because I love it. It works all the time. I said, well, yeah. Anyway, anything else?
This might be my last show before the beginning of the year. I'm doing
Okay.
some traveling on Sundays the next couple of weeks. So,
Okay. That's fine. You're doing good
Merry
good
Christmas.
work there. You need to be out there doing stuff.
oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right. So thanks, Nick. Thanks, Gal. Thank you, Spence. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov and Yael, and Katie. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. And change any same passwords where you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT in Charlotte, 11:10 a.m. and 99.3 FM, and it's on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and search Carolina Journal News Hour. And Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m., Nick hosts The Nick Craig Show at nickcraig.com. Go to nickcraig.com. You'll get all the information. And one other addition, I want to wish everybody a happy Hanukkah. Starts tonight. Have a happy Hanukkah. We'll see you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.